Hello there, this is Battleborn again. In this video, I am going to address the situation surrounding the new potential pandemic, the Wuhan virus or the coronavirus. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about, there's a couple of things that just makes you baffled when you watch it and when you read these things. And what I am talking about is basically how the governments of the world is handling this, and also the fact that the journalists that is supposed to give the public the correct information about what is really happening is by far, and they are not doing their job by far. So I was just checking out different media sources, and a lot of people are sending questions into journalists these days to get information about what is going on, what kind of virus is this, and all these things. And the answers that the journalists are giving the public is astonishing. In one of the cases, or many cases that I saw from these questions, people are wondering why the governments are saying that this virus is basically just like the flu, when it's been reported that between 25 and 75% of the patients are getting pneumonia, like acute severe pneumonia, usually at the later stages of the disease, when when the patients are looking like they are getting better, then at the end they get complications. So people are wondering about this and asking questions to journalists, and what the journalists are answering is, well, we are basing our information from what the government tells us. And that right there, is telling you that you're not dealing with a journalist, but a propaganda machine, an apparatus that is not doing its job. They are basically calling themselves journalists, but a journalist, what they would do is to go in and check out if the information that the government is telling is true. That is what a journalist would do. They wouldn't just sit there and regurgitate and tell the public what the government is telling them to tell the public. That is not journalism. So that was my first the first point I wanted to make in this video. And secondly, it's just pathetic to witness and see how inept and passive the governments of this world is. I've seen that some nations now have started to place restrictions on flights to China and all of these things, but still it's like, why are they even wondering about that? It's like they're just waiting for this shit to spread all over the globe, and if it does, and when it does, it's gonna, I'm not a fearmonger, but this doesn't look very bright. If this stuff hits big cities and societies, it's gonna create a lot of problems. So but the fact that they had such a good window of opportunity to close this shit down, to do something, but in the beginning, that's when you have to act with these things, and they didn't do anything. They let flights go in and out from China for like a couple of weeks, or many weeks actually, after they discovered this virus. And I understand that people don't shut down borders like after one or two cases of this stuff, but we saw the same thing with the Ebola virus when it hit West Africa. They also let the flights go, like they let the flights go out from these countries, and I've seen that some countries now, I think it was Russia, has closed its border to China, and several, Mongolia did the same, I guess. But these are neighboring countries. But what's the problem in today's society is air travel. It's not just people that are walking across the border. The air travel needs to be stopped to China basically right now. And another thing, I think it was the Japanese government. They brought people in, or they went to rescue basically their own citizens, and they brought them in from China. And when they brought them back home, they didn't put them in quarantine. So again, it's just like it's so, yeah, it's mind-boggling that they are that, inept to do their job. Like you take a person, and we know that this is airborne. We know that it's extremely contagious. And what you saw was like, now I think there were 3 new cases in Japan. Like it has already spread from the patients that they chose not to put in quarantine. And I've seen several other countries do the same. I think it was Sweden did the same, to pick up patients from, or not patients, but people that have been in this district in China, putting them into their own country and not placing them under quarantine. I mean, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble, and it's such a shame what we see right now playing out, because I do believe that this will, if stuff are not happening, and I mean like serious measurements are taken to stop this stuff, it's gonna go worldwide. And it's probably, it has done so already, but on a larger scale. That's what I mean. It's gonna go worldwide, and we're gonna see huge problems from this. So yeah, this is a topic that is something that concerns me, and I'm probably going to give more videos on this as this situation changes or escalates or whatever. So yeah, keep safe out there, and let's hope that the people in charge take better safety measures and actually care about their own citizens. So thank you for listening in, and have a good day.